What's up? Sorry about that, just making sure you guys are awake and paying attention. So right now what I got for you guys is a little bit of a merchanting video, and I'm going to be telling you what's going on today with the repeal of prohibition regarding to marijuana. For starters, everybody should know that it pretty much started in '95 or something like that, when California went and made was the first state to go and pass medical marijuana. Well, going forward about 20 years, you come to Washington and Colorado having legalized it just last month. So the real question is what is the federal government going to do about all of this? And if they went by the Constitution, then they would just stay out of the state's business and let them do what they want. A lot of people think that's what's going to happen, is they're going to end up being these little experiments. And to be honest, it's just a matter of time until we have full-out legalization of pot. And it's definitely a good thing. If you stop and think about it, marijuana in particular makes up some 60% of the income for the drug cartel. And these drug cartel people are just really bad people, and that is an understatement. You really can't put into words how bad these people are. And just by legalizing marijuana across the board, it would cut their income in more than in half. So I don't know why that isn't argued a lot more, but if you can somehow manage to bring out a big chunk of their revenue, then, well, it's only a matter of time before they start falling down. And then people start like, oh, if they legalize pot, it's not like they're going to start getting legit jobs. They're going to start pushing cocaine and heroin and meth more. It's like, well, yeah, they might try that, but once they realize that the market for heroin and cocaine or meth hasn't really gone up at all, it's, you know, people really only want pot, okay? And if people do go into other drugs, it's because the marijuana is around the other drugs in order for them to be gotten into. So therefore, making pot illegal and around the other drugs makes it more of a possibility for it to be a gateway drug. So there's a little food for thought. There's a lot of other reasons why it needs to be legalized, but definitely getting rid of the drug cartel is one of them. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just jump in here and say a little bit about merchanting, seeing as how this is technically a RuneScape video. Right now I'm merchanting Carol's and Guthans and Torags and Varak and Guthans and Cosmic Runes. Since the OC came out, they changed the merchanting up just a little bit. What they did was they put the trade limit back on it to where you can only buy a certain amount for 4 hours, even if you did sell the items that you just bought. That kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's like every item has such a huge margin of merchanting potential that it's kind of worth it if you know a lot of good items to merchant. Pretty legit, and in my opinion, merchanting's still one of the better ways to make money in the game. I mean, just recently I only had 5 mil because I like to go and lose everything I have somehow, one way or the other, give it away or whatever. I only had 5 mil, and then I started merchanting with that 5 mil, and I got up to, I'm around 40 mil now, and it's only been like 3 or 4 weeks. That was only like 10 minutes on, 10 minutes, 10 minutes to get the items set up, and then 10 minutes to get back on and sell them. So 20 minutes a day, or 20 minutes every other day even, or every 3 days, however amount of time it was just not like I hardly did anything. And now I'm sitting with enough money to at least, I don't even do anything in this game anymore. So basically all I do is merchant and give money to my friends that still play. Yeah, anyway, so I guess there's like 5 other states that are thinking about legalizing pot so far, and it's only been a month. Those states are Maine, Rhode Island, those ones up there in New England, and there's also, of course, California is going to get around to legalizing it sooner or later. Iowa, the state that I live in, is finally talking about medical marijuana. I mean, they had a unanimous vote in 2008, and unanimous as in like everybody voted for medical marijuana. All the head doctors or whatever, I think there's like 8 of them, they all voted for medical marijuana. So not one of them was opposed to it, yet it's been almost 5 years since they decided to do anything about it. I'm not a politician or anything, but I mean, come on guys, what are you doing? I mean, for real, what are you doing? Like, do your job. I mean, seriously, what is it that actually drove people to like go into like serious rebellions against their country and their leaders? Because look at America. We got like a $20 trillion deficit with literally no sign of easing up even, and we got politicians that lie to us, and they've been stealing from us, you know, money laundering and all this and that. I don't really care, but I guess, you know, why won't Obama show his like birth certificate, the long one or whatever? I don't care about that noise, but I just thought I'd bring it up. Of course, you know, some douche like Mitt Romney ends up getting nominated for the Republican, you know, he's the Republican nominee. What about Ron Paul? I mean, he had just as much support, maybe more support. You know, it's not his fault that you know, the media decided to censor him and not give him his fair share on the, you know, behind the podium when he was speaking. What what is it that causes, what is the initial chain of effect that causes a civilization to overthrow their government? Because come on, how far away are we from that? I don't want to partake. I just want the government and everybody within the government to stop doing what they're doing. They're not going to, because they're there for money. It's corrupt. That's the thing. Governments were made to fail. They were. Our government, you know, the democracy, it's pretty good if you follow the Constitution, but you know, they got things now that, you know, the president can assassinate citizens if they believe that they are conspiring to be a terrorist. It's like, how can you kill somebody without trial and jury, you know, without any of those rights that we have as an American citizen, when it is nothing other than conspiracy? Like, I was reading about this 16-year-old kid and his father that was killed by some drone. I'm sure a lot of you heard about it. I don't know a lot of the details, but all I know is he was 16, okay? They didn't kill Tupac when he was 16 selling crack. You know, they put him in jail. Let's say he really was a terrorist, okay? That's terrible, okay? He's 16. He's brainwashed. Put him in some mental institution and get him taken care of. That's a whole other story, okay? They take our prison systems. You know, we're some 5% of the global population, but we have 25% of all the prison population in the entire world. We're the land of the free. It's kind of ironic that we have most of the prisoners in the entire world. And we're closing down MHIs all across the country. My father used to work at the MHI, and he was forced to retire early because, you know, of worrying that it's gonna close down. And you know, he got out when he could with the best possible benefits they could for, you know, the situation. You know, it costs like $30,000 to cage somebody in prison. It costs $30,000 to put somebody in prison. I said that one more time. $30,000 a year to keep somebody in prison. That is an entire salary, okay? So it's really no wonder we have such a huge deficit when we got a government that goes and just does whatever they want, literally. I mean, you know, they got this bailouts in 2008 that totally destroyed us. You know, we got $30,000 a year per inmate in prison. Of course, all these terrible wars that they keep declaring without consent from Congress and stuff like that. But you know, so I'll say one more time. What is it exactly that causes a civilization to overthrow their government? Well, I guess we'll find out sooner or later. Thanks for watching this video, you guys. I don't know how I'm going to do on this whole merchanting thing. It looks like Carol's Top didn't even buy. Everything else is doing pretty good, though. I'm making about 40k an item, except for the Cosmic Runes. I'm making about 10 each on them. So, anyway, thanks, you guys. Subscribe, comment, rate, dislike the video, report it. Do whatever you feel you need to do. Thank you very much. Goodbye.